Hello everybody, CW here. I got a new scope to share. It's not brand new, it's used. It is a Nikko Stirling. This is the second one of these scopes that I have. This one here is a Diamond Series 3 to 12 by 42. And what I really like about it is the package deal of it. It's 3 to 12 power, 30 millimeter tube, and 42 millimeter objective. So I've got another one. I've got two like this. The one that's on that rifle right there is a Bushnell Engage 3 to 12. I like the scope a lot. Really nice optics, really clear. Target turrets, but they're locking. I'm not in love with that for a hunting scope, but being locking, they're acceptable. This one here has cap turrets, so this is more of a hunting scope. It's going to work in the environment of hunting where you're not going to have to change these. You're not going to be looking around. For me, I'm not going to be looking to change these while I'm in the field. I'm not going to have to worry about different ranges. Hunting here on the East Coast is a much closer range proposition. We got the new phone and it's got some new features, so it's hopping around a little bit with me adjusting the zoom. So it's a different view for you guys. This is my little cleaning station, video station, working station, and usually you guys are in the overhead view, you know, with the camera mounted up there. So I wanted to give you a little different view. Plus I've got a lot of clutter up there because this scope means the changing of two scopes. So the scope that's on there, that Bushnell, is going to go on that lower you see right behind, right there. That's a lower laying there. That's my 350 Legend lower. That's going to get this scope. This scope is going to go on this. This is the 358 Winchester, one of my favorite hunting rifles. This is assumed to be about perfect for my use. A few months ago, last year, maybe a year ago now-ish, 10 months ago, I put out a video, my favorite deer rifle. And I really have two of those, this being the other one. The one I did the video on is the Howa Mini in 6.5 Grendel. That one also has a 3 to 12. That one has a Hawk 3 to 12 by 56. Now, it's not just the 3 to 12 that I love so much. A lot of it is this style capped turret for a hunting gun. The 3 to 12 power is just like a better 3 to 9. 2.5 to 10 is another one that's really, really good. It's just a little bit better on a 3 to 9. But the other part of what makes this so great is its reticle. A number of companies call it an LH4 IR. I don't know what Nikko calls it because, like I said, this is a used scope. You can see the dings in it. There's a good ding over here. There's a good ding right there. And there's some scratching here. And on the caps, there's a little bit there. The person I bought this from does not know how to package an optic. They wrapped it in bubble wrap, which is great, and then stuck it in a tube triangle shipping carton, and it literally got squished. I was hoping it wasn't going to come out bent. I see a mark on the reticle. I'm sorry, on the objective glass here, but it's not showing up. A little bit, you can see it. Just a little bit of a smudge right there. It's not visible in looking through it. It's bright and clear and everything appears fine. We're going to mount it up and we're going to check to make sure that it tracks. And that'll be my decide if it's going to be an okay scope before I either contact them to send it back or tell them it's a-okay and just complain a little bit about their packaging. Hopefully they change it for the next guy because it doesn't mean anything to me. I got the scope, you know, so. Okay, the LH4 reticle. Don't know if we can look through this and you get to see it. Maybe a little bit. If I get it up there on the white of the Reloading Network badge. It's got a bar on the bottom and on the right and on the left. And then it's an etched glass reticle. It's got very thin strata going to the top so it doesn't obscure anything. And then it's got a dot. I'm going to say it's probably a half-minute dot and a lighted IR on the side. I've told you before, I really, really dislike the IRs on the eyepiece. Just looks awful. Over here where the focus would be, if it had focus, dynamite place for it. Good place for the battery and everything. Now this one here, I didn't expect it to be daylight bright, and it's not. But it's the battery that was in here when I bought it. So I don't know if it's a bad old dim, low voltage battery. But for dusk and dawn, wow, game changer. Having that little dim light, not enough to obscure your night vision, but enough to draw your eye to the center. Game changer. And I'm just, guys, I'm really in love with these 30mm tubes. They give you a lot more adjustment range, let in a little more light. This is not a heavy scope. It's a nice light scope. I'll tell you, I would have these on most all of my hunting guns. Not necessarily Nikko Stirling per se, although it seems to be really nice. It's nice and bright and clear. That Hawk is, standout bright and clear. They're about the same range to buy them new. Again, nothing here is for sale, but this is a new cost on this. I'm going to say it's in the 300 bean range. This was about 1/3 of that. And I thought an okay deal. I was given a little bit of a break on it, and I was happy with the deal, even with the marks on it. Little magic marker will clean that right up, and you won't notice it so badly. It's not dense, it's just scuffs, but it does kind of look trashy. But it's going to be a hunting scope. It's going to see use, so it's going to get its own hickeys and marks. So that one's got a tiny bit of a ding where it's dented a little bit. But again, we're looking here at 6 power, 6 times zoom. So it looks worse than it really is. We back up here to normal. There's one power, so that's the same as our eye, and it doesn't really look that bad at all. It's just a scuff. So let's get this on the rifle. Let me check the reticle adjustments. I've got that one set up with a collimator at the end. So although I've had iffy results with that collimator, it will produce good results because this rifle is sighted in. So I can just move the reticle in this one to match where that one falls on that collimator. And I will be absolutely on the paper. I will be within say 2 inches of being sighted in. So that's really huge. So let me do that. I don't need to do it on screen. You've seen me do this. You know what's going on. We're going to level it with the plumb line, which is on the wall right over here, just out of your view. And all that is just a piece of, I've talked about this before. It's just a piece of surveyor's line that's brightly colored. Mine happens to be pink. And I got a 2-ounce sinker hanging on it, so it's perfectly vertical up and down. I level the rifle with a bubble level on the rifle mount on the base, beneath the ring. Or on half of a ring, take the upper cap off a ring and lay the scope level on there. Level the scope, rifle rather. All this while you're pointed at that plumb line, and then put your scope on, and then run the vertical line in your scope, the up and down, make it parallel or in line with that plumb line, and your rifle will be dead square. Regardless of what you think, because we all cant a little bit, twist a little bit, mount the rifle a little bit left or right, it'll appear left or right or crooked. But when you do it this way, it will absolutely be square. Has to be. I've got a buddy who every time he picks up one of my rifles, he tells me how crooked it is. And every time I pick up one of his scopes, I see how crooked it is. He's got a way of holding the rifle where it's a little bit crooked. And, you know, if you're shooting hunting within 100 yards or so, it's not going to make a huge difference. But if you're shooting any kind of distance, absolutely it makes a huge difference. And it's really important if you're going to be shooting at distance that your reticle be square with your rifle up and down. Otherwise, think about this now. If you're a couple of degrees right or left of center, you're not hardly going to notice it 50 yards, 100 yards, whatever. But as you stretch out to 500 yards, let's just say 600 yards, 1 or 2 degrees is going to be serious inches, 5, 6 inches, one side or the other, depending on how you're canted. So when you adjust windage to try and sight in, it's going to be, you're going to be chasing your tail, because left and right is going to affect up and down is going to affect left and right. So it makes a huge difference at distance. All right, 11 minutes in. Let's get this finished up. I just wanted to show you the scope and get it on the gun. So let's get that done off screen. I'll come back when it's on. Stand by. And just like that, through the magic of video, it's done. It moved perfectly. The adjustments moved it right over. Very nice. Lined right up. Perfect. Let me see if I can show you a picture through the scope. I know. I don't do this very well. Stand by. And I can't get it at all. This new camera has some features in it. It'll switch lenses as you get close. So as soon as I get it focused where it looks pretty good, it flips to another lens because it tries to focus on the exterior of the scope. So I can't do it. Maybe I can roll something in off the website, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. Anyway, I put on a Monstrum level on here because I really like these. The arched design makes it easy to find. That bubble moves nice and easy, and it works really well. I did change out the battery, and the old battery was a little bit dim. It's still not daylight bright. Knew it wouldn't be. But when I go to top power, which is 5. Oh, wait, we got green. We got green and red. Didn't know that. Let me look at this again. Nice. Green and red. I see the little G on there, and I didn't notice that before. There's the R. So 1 to 5 over here is going to be all reds, and 1 to 5 over here is all greens with the G. Well, I like that green, so we're going to leave it over here on the red. When you're on the letters, it's off. So there's off, there's 1 red, off, there's 5 green, or high brightness green. And there we go. That's part of the reason why I really like these scopes. But there we go. Again, a Nikko Stirling diamond grade 3 to 12 by 42. It's a European style design. What's the wording I'm looking for? It's something that's really liked overseas for hunting. And that 56 that's on the Hawk is directly from there, because they're allowed to hunt a lot of those places at night where we're pretty much frowned upon those kind of things. So those huge objectives really collect a lot of light and bring it in and help those scopes a lot. We don't need that here. So, 40, 45 is all that's really needed here. People like those 50s and big giant objectives, and I've got a few of them too. But as a hunting scope, I like about a 40. This is 42. 44 is about, that's a nice looking, to my eye, nice looking optic. So there we go. We'll get this out on the range and get it sighted. I don't perceive any issues, and I think I'm really going to like this. The other one was, like I said, it's a Bushnell Engage, almost identical, 3 to 12, very, very similar. Again, I'm not going to show you reticles because the way this camera works, I can't see anything through there. Nothing at all. So don't even know why I try. It's got a reticle that I don't care for hunting. A lot of hash marks. Nice for holdovers on targets, but it's just lines. So there's nothing bold, nothing illuminated. So it's not the best as a hunting reticle. So I'm going to throw it on this 350 upper over here, and it'll be fine, but not my favorite. Do that another video, another day. This is all about the Nikko Stirling. So there we go. God bless everybody. Give this one a look. I think you might like it. CW out.